teach my students to look out at the audience, but forgive me if I am looking down the whole time, because I think if I look out at you, I might start to cry and not get through the speech. So, Tom was my brother-in-law, who I met when I started dating my husband about 18 years ago. He was a devoted husband to Debbie and a loving father to Justin and Bailey. He was also a brother, son, son-in-law, uncle, cousin, and a friend to many. But more than that, he was someone you would rarely see without a smile on his face. He loved life, and he loved his family even more. He was also someone you would often see with a camera in hand during the holidays and at family vacations and gatherings, taking remarkable photos. I will always be grateful for the memories my family and I will have, and never forget because of the moments he captured. Tom would do anything for his family. He volunteered at his boys' schools, took them wherever they needed to go, supported them in their hobbies, and most important, if you asked Justin and Bailey, he would go to any length to find that one gift on his boys' Christmas list that was sold out in every store. But in the end, somehow, Tom would find that sold-out gift because seeing his boys' smiling faces Christmas morning meant the world to him. His face lit up when he talked about his sons and all they have accomplished. He was very proud of the young adults they have become. Tom was also an incredible uncle to my two daughters. Whenever he was around, he gave them his full attention when they wanted to play. He would always entertain them and make them laugh. Oh, and of course also find them that hard-to-find sold-out Christmas gift. They always knew who to ask for the best Christmas presents. He was also there to help us move our house, build my daughters their first play structure in the backyard. And one Christmas Eve, he even bared the late cold night to help my husband put together a 14-foot trampoline with no complaints, to help surprise my daughters on Christmas morning. And he was still smiling when my husband realized they had put it on wrong and I had to start all over again. My husband looked like he wanted to kill me for getting the trampoline and making him put it together on Christmas Eve. But Tom, he just kept smiling. And he didn't mind it one bit, as he knew it was going to make his nieces extremely happy the next morning. And that was Tom, always willing to do anything for anyone, especially his family. He enjoyed making others happy. We will cherish the happy memories we have of Tom, and we will miss him very much. And I'll leave you this last quote. Those we love don't go away. They walk beside us every day. Unseen, unheard, but always near. Still loved, still missed, and very dear.
And I believe Deanna Engers next. Tom's sister.
There's so many things that I thought of that I wanted to share about my brother because I spent my whole life with him and we were very close. I've always admired him. He was my big brother. And being 4 years older, you know, he knew a lot by the time I came around. And he wanted to be the best example for me that he could be. You know, he had it all. He was handsome, he was smart, he was athletic, which he shared with me. He taught me everything. And his kindness, like what everybody has talked about, you know, he was so kind and everybody loved him. Then he went on and married like the most perfect person he could have ever picked, and raised two incredible boys that I hope my kids end up becoming as great as them. But I do take some credit way, I'm the one who introduced them, sort of. It's because of my abilities in soccer that he taught me that Debbie and I met in soccer in high school, and Tom came to watch his little sister during Christmas break and thought Debbie was cute. She thought he was cute. We went to the mall, and the rest is history. They never ever separated again. So, but you all know how great he was. What you might not know are some of the things that he did as a brother. You know, we were latchkey kids. You know, my mom and my dad worked, and so in the summers it was just him and me. And we lived out in the country, and he was responsible for me being 4 years older. And it didn't always go so well. As much as I love my brother and our relationship is so great as adults, it wasn't always perfect. And we did used to fight. And he would lock me out when I would threaten to run away. And he would pick up the phone so I couldn't call out, which some of you younger people might not know what that's like, but it sucks. And then when I would like kick him and run to hide and lock myself in the bathroom so he couldn't get me back, he would just take the doorknob off. So, but through all that, you know, we became very, very close, and we relied on each other for everything, emotionally, physically. I mean, we knew we had each other's backs always. And so, you know, he became my most trusted confidant all my life. And I shared absolutely everything with him, including boy stuff and all of it. And, you know, there was a time when I wrecked my car, and I knew my dad would kill me. So there was no way I was calling my parents. And I didn't want to call the police either. So I called Tom, because I knew he would know how to make it better. And not only did he talk me off the ledge, but he also helped me go to the pick-apart place and put my car back together, which Debbie's brother Eric thankfully painted for me too, so it was all the same color again. So as time went on, I just really valued his opinion more and more as I got older, and eventually he became my personal Google. If we needed any advice on anything, computer-wise, product-wise, car-wise, we knew we could call Tom and he would do all the research for us. So my favorite memories, really looking back in our childhood, or you know, his exposure to music. He absolutely, as was said earlier, you know, music was huge for him, and he passed that on to me, including the wide variety of music. I was probably one of the only third graders that could sing every Def Leppard song. So I credit that to him, even if the volume of the music may have caused me some hearing loss, it was worth it. And one special memory that I'm not sure anybody actually knows, not even Debbie maybe, is I had to have an EEG done when I was probably in 4th grade, and I was passing out all the time, and so they had to keep me up all night, and I had to go get this EEG done at the hospital the next day. Tom would have probably been about 13, 14, which is kind of a time when boys especially would be sort of selfish, but he spent time creating a legend for every letter of the alphabet, and he made me a letter in code so that I would have something to do while I waited through my testing. And I still have that code, the legend and the letter today. So those are just some of the things that, you know, made my brother so crazy special to me, and I'll miss him and absolutely everything about him. But one thing that, you know, I can say, and I'm so proud of him, is that he may have had a short life, but he made the absolute most of his life he could have, and he accomplished so much, and he is definitely my hero. So.
Anyone else like to come forward and share a few thoughts?
My name is Kimberly Lowe. I am one of the Black Belt team that we went through pictures that's seen here. And one of our members could not be here today and wrote his thoughts. And so I figured I should be brave and come up and share them with all of you. It saddens me greatly that I'm unable to be there in person for this remembrance. Tom was and continues to be one of my closest friends. I have struggled for many days, or has it been weeks, to pull the many memories together into an intelligent, cohesive story. Yet what happens and keeps happening is that my emotions get in the way. What instead forms is a series of snapshots from conversations and shared moments. Each one is an insight into the man I knew and admired. I share a few of these with you. Tom is a family man, and he valued his family above all else. We share things we wish we had done more of, and what we often spoke of trials and tribulations we were dealing with, or critical decisions we each had to make. Yet it was always in the light of helping our families grow in the best way that we knew how. Tom always spoke so highly of Debbie, and was beyond proud of the work that she did, both professionally and as a partner. Justin and Bailey each held a special place in his heart. He embraced their differences and truly enjoyed seeing them develop into the men they've become. No one knew him better, and no one hurts more than his family. He was humble, sometimes to a fault. Training in martial arts with him was something of an experience. He often apologized for doing things slightly wrong or making contact during sparring. I know I told him more than once to knock off the apologies or to do something to be sorry about. I also recall his feelings that he was less deserving of his black belt than the others in our group. We talked at length about the challenges that we had and how each was very personal and very different. He belonged in that group, and he earned his right to wear that belt. His strength and perseverance was unwavering, sometimes, or I should say, something that he often underestimated. He was a teacher who thought that he was a student. His lessons were in appreciating those in your life and enjoying little things. I recall standing in the parking lot, talking after a pretty rough training session. We were discussing thoughts on the cosmos, our place in the world, some form of psychology, or maybe who made the best burger. At some point, an owl flew overhead. We stopped the conversation and instead watched the owl hunt with its mate. It was quiet, and the look of wonder and enjoying the moment was clearly with Tom. Very similar experiences were shared on backpacking trips, and he taught me how to slow down some and enjoy the present moment. A lesson that I'm still learning. He was generous, both with his time and his thoughts with others. To this very day, I carry a small black belt keychain that he got each of us in the group upon passing our tests. It's tattered from years of carrying it, but it also reminds me daily of the friendships we built and why I think of each of these people as my brothers and sisters. It was a simple gesture, which holds great meaning for me. It hurts to lose a friend. I'm angry about the struggles and the pain he went through. However, I'm also grateful that he was in my life, and I'm thankful that he knew how much I valued his brotherhood. I will miss his positive attitude and the joy that he brought to those in his presence. Rest peacefully, my friend. You are loved by many.
Anyone else?
This is really hard. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that how very, very close me and Tom were when we were growing up. He was my cousin, but I often thought he was my brother. He wasn't just a brother, though. He was more of a best friend, in many ways a role model. We had such a great childhood together. Tom repeatedly told me that he enjoyed our trips, our family trips that we would take. Our summers were just amazing. We had so much fun. We would ride mopeds all over Madera and just being silly all day. We would just swim. Uncle Ron had a great pool and we just really overused it. Karate movies and pizza were our treasures. We listened to the Beatles and Steve Martin comedy 8 tracks when we were really young. We thought we were rock stars. We would sing along to sometimes purposely changing the words to our favorite songs. He had a knack for that. He would just interject his own little dialogue in there, and somehow it all made sense. One summer, Tom got his first car. It was a Toyota Celica. Boy, we drove the wheels off of that. Thank you, Uncle Ron. It was freedom like we'd never known before. I think back on those times when we would drive aimlessly listening to our favorite music. It seemed like we were really doing something, like we were somehow, we had our hands on the wheels of life, and we were unstoppable. We talked about the future and our dreams, and sometimes not at all, just driving. As we got older, we faced different challenges, and sometimes I would come to him about them, and he would always console me. So one time I was particularly down on something. He just decided to gross me out. We were having dinner, and out of nowhere he opened his mouth and showed me all his chewed food. Just like that, we were 10 years old again. Immediately we broke into laughter, and everything felt good. I could always count on Tom to make me laugh or ease my concerns. He always saw the bright side of things.